Hey everyone, it's Michael GoosebumpsFan, and today I'm going to be doing a video review, episode review, whatever, of Goosebumps Attack of the Jack-O-Lanterns. Yeah, I just recently read the book itself, this one right here. I got the reissue, of course. I don't have a copy of the original version yet. Not version, but copy with the original cover and everything from the old release. But this old TV episode, I only got this VHS, or this DVD, excuse me, probably 5 or 6 years ago. It was something like that. I've seen it a few times. I pretty much watched it every single, close to Halloween, October time, every single year since, because it's been so relatively fun and enjoyable. The episode itself is Season 2, Episode 10. It was released on October 26th, 1996. So I was almost 2 years old when this actually came out on TV. I do think that the episode, I do like it a lot. When I watched it last night, I was a little surprised. I remember this being a two-parter, like 40 minutes long or so, and apparently it's not. Apparently it is a 20-minute long episode. Your typical Goosebumps adaptation of a novel at that time on the TV show. I had a good time watching it, but after reading the book for the first time this past week, I gotta say the book is better. I did not remember if it was, but it is. It's much, much better, honestly, all around, whether it be with the atmosphere that the book has going for it, whether it be the creeping moments in it, just in general, that works so much better than this cheesy, goofy episode of this TV show that I love so much. Again, yeah, this episode is goofy, silly, stupid, but fun. There are certain aspects to this that are just different. I don't remember in the book them ever mentioning that these jack-o'-lantern people, these giant, tall people that are taking the kids out to this creepy neighborhood out in the middle of nowhere to go trick-or-treating instead of the typical neighborhood where they're actually at. I don't remember these things in the book being mentioned to have, like, crab claws for hands, right? They do in the episode, which was okay. It worked for what it was. The episode is fun. The episode's very quick. It's a very enjoyable, quick read, or well, yeah, the book is a quick read, but the episode itself is fun to watch, I would say, at this time of the year. I don't think it captures the feeling of fall and October and trick-or-treating, or Halloween for that matter, the way the Haunted Mask episodes do. It doesn't come across as good, but I like it still, if that makes sense. And of course, this episode is the last TV book that I need, that I cannot get anywhere at all, and it's killing me. It's absolutely killing me not being able to find this original release for this on the TV book collection. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up. It's like the hardest book to find ever for Goosebumps. I don't know why, it just is. But this episode, every time I watch it, it haunts me, the fact that I'll never be able to find that book, more than likely, unless for whatever reason God allows me to find a copy. But still, for now, this episode is all I'm going to have to deal with. And it's good. I like it. Again, there's really not much to the plot. It's not as in-depth as what the actual book was. The book was like covering like the past 2 Halloweens up to that point in the story, because of how these kids kept pranking everybody. You know, the 2 main kids, Tabby and Lee, and how just mean they were, and how the main character Drew and her best friend Walker and Shane and Shayna, who actually just moved back into town in the actual episode itself, they wanted to prank Tabby and Lee drastically to try to get back at them with revenge for what these people did to them, pranking them all these years. It's a lot more severe in the book. I feel like the book is a lot more, I don't know if I want to say emotionally charged, because it's not emotional in the sense of making you want to cry or anything, but it builds up to a story, like a real event with this final Halloween night and these jack-o'-lantern people that's kind of creepy in the book. Like I said, there's an atmosphere to the book. The book isn't perfect. I did give it kind of a not a perfect score, but I gave it a little bit underneath that because of the ending of the book itself. I gotta be honest, the TV episode, I don't like the ending of it either. I think the ending for this is worse than in the actual book itself, even though they're relatively similar. It's just, in this, it's worse. And if you've seen it, you know why. It is possibly one of the most cringy, and also at the same time fun and silly endings that Goosebumps has ever had for an episode. It's real bizarre. If there was ever a list I did at any point in the future of top 5 weirdest Goosebumps episodes, this would be one of them, if not the #1 spot. It would have to be. It's just weird, you know, and it's really fun. Don't get me wrong, I like the music, I like everything about this episode. it's just really cool. I like all the fog and stuff around, and especially in the neighborhood that the kids are trick-or-treating in. I like a lot of things about it. I love the look of the jack-o'-lanterns. They're cool. They look really cool, in my opinion. Even though I kind of like these more than in the film, like in the 2015 Jack Black movie, they have the jack-o'-lanterns there. Really just one of them, but it's okay. You know, it's not the best design ever, but it's cool for a modernization of what this looks like from this TV episode. There's not really a whole lot to say about this particular episode. I like it a lot, but it is too goofy. It is one of the goofier Goosebumps episodes in my opinion, but also at the same time, with how this whole show basically was always silly and goofy for the most part, this is one of the standouts of being very special. Like I said, I've watched this every single year for like the last 5 or 6 years of my life, since this DVD came out essentially. And I've had a blast every time. It's a fun episode, but it's kind of a mess. It's kind of sloppily put together, honestly. If that's that's probably the best possible word to explain this. It's good, but it is sloppy, period. But it's fun. I do recommend it, especially if you like the book itself. The book is amazing, honestly, for the most part. I would say it's pretty fantastic. But this TV episode, it's good for what it's trying to do, being an adaptation. Cutting out a lot of material, kind of focusing on the main story of the book itself, with the trick-or-treating that particular night of Halloween. That's really all it needed to accomplish, and it has a cool twist in there and everything, and that's about it. That's all it really needed to be, and for the most part, I would say that Attack of the Jack-o'-lanterns is a good episode. Seriously, it's good, I enjoy it, I recommend it, easily, from the Goosebumps TV show. It's one of the best episodes, I'd say. Maybe possibly in my top 10. Possibly. I'd have to finish watching the whole show through before I say anything like that, but still, I really, really dig it. What are your thoughts on the Attack of the Jack-o'-lanterns episode? Put your thoughts in comments down below. What are your thoughts on the book? Is the book better to you, or is the TV episode better than you, or better to you? Do you like the design from this or the actual movie from 2015 more? I'd love to hear what you have to say when it comes to the jack-o'-lanterns themselves. If I had to rate the episode on a 5-star basis, I'd probably give it like a 4 out of 5. And it's more, remember, for anybody who doesn't know, or if this happens to be my first video for you, or at least my first Goosebumps episode review for you, I would recommend that my reviews are typically based on the idea of how enjoyable something is. So my star ratings are typically focused around that. If there's like a flaw, like a bad ending or something, I take off like a star or so. But it kind of depends on what the whole execution of the episode is. I think for the most part, this is decent. I think it's really well made for the most part. Kind of cheap, you know, very, 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 very kind of cheap, like a lot of Goosebumps TV episodes, because the whole show didn't really have the highest budget ever. But it's doing well, I think, for what it was. I never got to see this episode as a kid, so seeing it now as an adult a bunch of times has been fun, and has been something I've really enjoyed going back to every single Halloween. So what are your thoughts, guys? I'd love to hear what you have to say down below. Again, 4 out of 5 stars for me. It's a little hard to give it like a high 4 out of 5, but it's good for what it is. For what it's trying to be and for what it actually is, I like it. I think it's good. Anyway, what are your thoughts? Put them down below, guys. Thank you for watching. May the Lord Jesus Christ bless you guys today, and goodbye.